Every legendary weapon, piece of armor in the game can now be upgraded, so from any release.
Awesome.
Including my very favorite legendary belt-fed heavy machine gun. I'm actually going to enjoy this a lot. The Deviant Gravity A. What perks do I have on mine? This is one I like. I like to expect to find more ammo for this weapon.
So far, we're looking similar.
Yeah, that's badass. Although yours is void instead of arc, but I'm very happy that I'm going to have my Fallen Captain killer. I've actually used this already to take down some nasty villains.
Take a look at that shotgun you just bought, actually.
Okay, so let's equip that.
That's got a couple new perks on it. So
nasty.
What do we have?
What is that above Ascension over there?
Reforge ready.
Reforge ready.
Yep, so
the gunsmith can reforge this weapon.
Right.
Change its available upgrades, but resetting any progression or ascension.
So yeah, you'll be able to, with the new House of Wolves weapons, be able to reforge them, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so
and all the way to the vault.
Dismantle some
just
stuff.
Dismantle things.
Just dismantle
you have 270
some stuff.
in there. You're good.
And take.
There you go.
Did that give me? Let me take a look at my inventory.
Chat is losing it
Are
over
they losing it?
Oh, they're losing it over reforging.
Reforging's going to be cool. So
A lot of people ask for those.
Sleep in the living train.
All right.
I can't help but notice he also has Talims.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has Talims now.
Yep.
That's cool.
So I am acquiring a reforging.
You know it.
All right, so we need to do this until we get shot package.
Well, I don't
and
know if
hammer
we're not
forge.
going to be here till Tuesday. So I have linear compensator, I have replenish, I have speed reload, and I have army of one. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Acquiring. Are you sure you're acquiring? Yes, I'm acquiring. Go.
Thanks.
Open character. Back to the shoddy. It looks nasty. I mean, it looks like...
Yeah, and there's a lot of new perks too.
It looks
that I'm
like I would
noticing.
use that to like actually hold up the new Monarchy better.
Sure.
That's a bad man's shotgun. Rangefinder, speed reload, cascade. You get the idea.
Yeah.
You can do this all day until you run out of motes of light, until you run out of gun parts. And when you take a look at the stuff that we're asking you to spend, it's the stuff that a lot of people have in reserve.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good use for some of the things that you might have been stockpiling. We knew that was going to make a lot of people happy, and it's a lot of fun to show it off.
Next time.
That is awesome. There's a lot of upgrades for old raid gear and stuff, which to me kind of makes the old raids a lot more relevant than if we were just moving on. And as a new player, a lot more approachable because you'll have two sources to get your gear from.
Indeed.
In order to level up.
And all of those
sources,
things apply here. So, Gloves of the Heads and Lords, Vault of Glass gear, you can ascend.
Yeah.
Let's come take a look at...
and all of your resources are relevant with the exchange over at the speaker now, too. That's awesome.
Yep. So, is there anything in your inventory that you feel would go to waste or sit on the shelf? Take a look at your inventory.
Not really, because I can exchange, my ascendants, which I have 1,000 ascendant shards, basically.
You have 3,651 weapon parts.
Yeah. I'm going to use those.
You're going to use those.
Yeah, I need to make weapons to, something.
Another cool part of this is that now everybody at the at the maximum level is going to look different, which is pretty cool.
That's great. Yeah.
Some people are going to be running around in Vault of Glass gear, some Iron Banner gear.
Are you familiar with transmogging in Blizzard games?
Sure.
Sure.
Constant feedback on our forum. People love a transmog system.
So this is basically that. I mean, since all the gear can be at the top level, you can just ascend it.
We're not taking features and attributes from one gear and allowing you to apply it to another.
Right,
what we are doing is making everything relevant that you can enjoy. I've got to check out.
A lot of people are asking about the glimmer cap, and I've never been someone who really feels like a higher glimmer cap is super necessary.
Yeah.
But is that something you guys have considered, or is it basically like if you're capping your glimmer all the time, then why aren't you spending it type thing? Especially now with the new
new sinks for it and stuff.
Yeah,
new
exactly. There's a lot more sinks for your old materials, and your old materials can become glimmer, so is that even necessary?
Indeed.
Yeah, we're definitely always we're always looking at that stuff, looking at people's feedback, sort of keeping an eye on what things like caps and different materials and whatnot. So we're always kind of evaluating that stuff. As you see with our patches, we try and address the most important of those as they come up. So if that proves to be an issue, I'm sure.
Right.
Were we able to reach into the mind of our investment designers, we could probably answer that question with much greater detail.
Okay.
But I can tell you that that piece of feedback has landed. It's just a matter of how does player feedback match up with our own experiences, our own learnings in playing the game, because we are fans of our own game,
right?
And what are our goals for the overall experience?
Are there any new ghost shells?
Not at this time. Not at this time. We're being pretty giving today.
Okay. Not today, guys. We're not.
Yep. And you know what I feel? I feel, in order to be completely honest here, this is not my Gallarhorn. I did not earn this Gallarhorn.
That's rude.
I'm going to dismantle it as a gesture of honesty and goodwill. Now I have shards.
And you got some weapon parts. You've been really low on those.
I need weapon parts. So until everyone has an opportunity to own a Gallarhorn, I will not accept one.
Sure.
And that is my promise to the community. Plus, I don't need one because I have a Thunderlord, and that's really a more skilled weapon anyway.
What's Bungie's stance on player trading?
Player trading.
Player trading.
It's something we've thought about. We've been talking about player trading ever since, the pros and cons of it ever since the, beginning of time. So it's something where, there's downsides to it,
obviously, right?
And there's upsides. So
I'm not a huge proponent of it, but I just because I feel like it would take away a lot of the end game if your buddy could just hand you everything. But
exactly.
A lot of people ask about it, so obviously I want to know your thoughts on it and try to stay as neutral as possible.
Yeah, I mean, the investment designers, there are a lot of conversations I'm sure that happen about that. We're always considering features like that. Personally, I prefer not to have player trading, but
I agree with you.
You'll get different opinions, across the entire team.
I wouldn't feel right unless I asked, guys. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember, the time I have pined for a Thunderlord for a long time. I used this gun on stage in front of people for a week at Gamescom.
Okay.
And I thought, this gun is so awesome. This is fully upgraded at home. On this test build, it is not. I'm going to be able to upgrade this thing to 365. I'm going to keep it with me. I acquired my Thunderlord after a Crucible match. I was playing a game with Datto and Leopard Stealth.
Did you have a high score?
And I did not have the high score, but I held my own.
Okay.
I held my own. I was there.
Were you positive?
I thought I had maybe a .83 KD, which is good for me.
That's not .82, so you're...
It's 0.01 better than...
Yeah, exactly. So
but I got my Thunderlord. And, and I can always, if somebody says, how'd you get that? I'm like, ask Datto. We were in the Crucible. I won it. I was very happy. But if that story ended up being, Datto gave it to me, then it's less interesting for me. There are people who will disagree with me. There are people who have 5 Gallarhorns, and they have a friend who has 0 Gallarhorns, and they would like a trading system.
Is there a cap on Etheric Light that you can earn in a week like there is Vanguard Marks? Or is it basically if you're lucky enough to get a whole crap load of it, then you're good?
There's no cap that I'm aware of.
No cap that we are aware of. Cool.
Yeah, but there are activities that you can run only so many times throughout the course of a week. But
there's a weekly reset on the arena. Trials of Osiris is just on the weekend. Yep. Obviously, you can only do your Nightfalls.
If it was a weekend and you played Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris, I mean, they might relap. Iron Banner usually lasts a full week.
Sure,
but. If Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris and you played the Nightfall and you were doing your Prison of Elders, you could hit the Mother Load.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway,
I think I hit all of the hot button questions.
The hot burning questions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then there's nothing left to do but to slow walk the tower.
Did we want to check out maybe the dead orbit weapons or?
I gave it a look. I want the player to have something that they can inspect and enjoy for themselves.
All right.
I'm going to be the bad cop right now. Everyone can remember that Christopher Barrett wanted to expose all the riches of the tower to you, and Deej said no.
I wanted to show you the new exotic armor, all that stuff. But I'll tell you
Are we going to be talking about third subclasses anytime soon in the future?
There is a future for Destiny, and we'll be talking about all of it in the future. But not today. It is not this day. I think, before we overstay our welcome, we're just going to say that we're really looking forward to all of you playing the House of Wolves on May 19th. All of this will be available to all of you. If you've been watching this Twitch stream, we thank you. Our chat room is running a mile a minute. So, if you're used to getting a shout out, I can't even pick out any of your names right now.
Yeah, for everybody shouting raid in chat, we had a brief discussion about the choice to have a new activity that we can't really talk about yet, but is raid tier difficulty. And I guess you guys could have technically called it a raid, but it wasn't really a raid. But it's still
setting expectations was pretty important.
So you guys will find out in a couple weeks about that. I wish I could talk about it now, but
no, that will be that responsibility will fall to another. You'll be at home, hopefully watching the stream. So please tune in this time next week, or this time an hour ago next week. We're going to be doing this week over week until the House of Wolves launches. Next week we're going to be with Triple Rec.